The Islamic Republic of Iran, born from a popular revolution, established its own survival against a similar uprising as its primary geopolitical objective. To achieve this, the regime relies on the Sazman-e Basij, the Organization for the Mobilization of the Oppressed. This paramilitary branch of the IRGC acts as the regime's primary domestic security organ. The scale of the organization is massive, with membership estimates ranging from 1.5 million to over 10 million people. Its cells are embedded in virtually every city and town across the country. While officially defined as a volunteer militia, the Basij functions as the regime's iron fist, providing the manpower necessary to enforce ideological compliance. The Basij is a highly engineered socio-military apparatus designed to execute unconventional warfare doctrine in reverse. Analyzing the Basij through the lens of military science reveals how the state structurally immunizes itself against internal resistance. Traditional unconventional warfare, or UW, is a strategy used by a state to cultivate and support resistance movements against an occupying or adversary power. A core requirement of UW is the establishment of an area complex, a dispersed network of facilities, supply lines, and intelligence nets embedded within the population. The Iranian regime builds this exact insurgent infrastructure on its own behalf. By constructing its own area complex, the state ensures that any rival movement finds no physical or social space to organize. This strategy allows the state to preemptively occupy the physical, digital, and ideological domains of its citizens. In effect, the Basij functions as a state-sponsored insurgency, fighting a continuous war against the possibility of a popular uprising. This standard military blueprint for a resistance area complex divides geographic operational sectors to manage localized guerrilla units. The Basij mirrors this blueprint, utilizing the same sector-based logic to maintain command and control over domestic territory. The regime establishes resistance districts and bases in every neighborhood, acting as localized counterintelligence sensors. These bases support specialized branch organizations that penetrate every segment of society, targeting students, workers, and women to ensure total coverage. This structure ensures that any emerging stream of resistance is detected and neutralized by a hyperlocal authority at its earliest stage. Because universities are historic hubs for dissent, the regime views the campus as a primary battleground, requiring a specialized branch, the Student Basij Organization. The SBO acts as the IRGC's kinetic enforcers on campus, leading the violent crackdowns on liberal youth movements. Beyond enforcement, the SBO serves as a talent pipeline for the state's most critical military programs, including its nuclear and ballistic missile programs. The regime incentivizes participation by offering SBO members preferential access to government jobs, positions in security organizations, and foreign scholarships. This group attracts the youngest and most radical members of the Basij, who are generally more active than the organization's older, retired personnel. The SBO uses its status as a student organization to provide a legitimate facade for the IRGC's efforts to monitor and disrupt the youth. Control of the physical street is paired with control over digital communication. In 2009, the IRGC acquired the Telecommunications Company of Iran. This gave the military direct oversight of all domestic data streams. To monitor these streams, the regime utilizes the Cyber Basij, an 18,000-strong unit tasked with reporting internet violations and identifying protesters online. These volunteer cyber war commandos operate under IRGC specialist supervision to dismantle online resistance networks. The Iranian state occupies the digital domain, utilizing its control over infrastructure to hunt opposition members and disrupt organizational efforts in real time. This digital occupation involves the use of sock puppet accounts on social media, some of which have been active since 2010 to manipulate public opinion. The state employs a specific framing strategy, describing protesters as armed terrorists to provide a justification for extreme violence. This apparatus also propagates conspiracy theories, such as claims that COVID-19 was a biological weapon launched by external adversaries. During periods of high unrest, automated bot activity amplifies state-sanctioned hashtags to drown out genuine reporting from the ground. Disinformation acts as a digital blockade, isolating individuals from ground truth information and fracturing the shared reality required for collective action. Sustaining this multi-domain grid requires an annual budget of approximately $500 million. The state's reliance on child soldiers, some as young as 12, reveals the extreme lengths the regime will go to maintain its grip on power. The necessity of a militia numbering in the millions is a clear indicator that the regime lacks organic domestic legitimacy. The pervasive reach of the Basij is the ultimate test of the regime's functionality. Its very existence is a measure of the state's structural fragility. The Basij achieves security by occupying its own country, turning the tools of revolution into a permanent counterinsurgency. This creates a captive society, where the population is treated as an occupied adversary by its own security forces. The Basij represents the absolute application of unconventional warfare against its own people, a system of social control built on the permanent occupation of every stratum of civilian life.